So today we fired half of Twitter, and that should save us, what, $4 billion a year?
No, it's not going to save $4 billion a year. I wish, but I mean, to be frank, Twitter was having pretty serious revenue challenges and cost challenges before the acquisition talks started, and any company that is dependent on advertising has had a hard time. So if you look at, say, Snap or Google, Facebook, whatnot, they've all had a difficult time with advertising revenue dropping, and Twitter is more currently more vulnerable than they are to advertising, because most of Twitter's advertising is large brand advertising as opposed to direct response. So it's kind of like a much more of a discretionary ad spend than it is for like if you can do direct response for a specific product. So and then we also recently had a lot of difficulty with activist groups pressuring major advertisers to stop spending money on Twitter. This is despite us doing everything possible to appease them and to make it clear that moderation rules and hateful conduct rules have not changed, and we're continuing to enforce them. A number of major advertisers have stopped spending on Twitter. This doesn't seem right, because we've made no change in our operations at all, and but nonetheless, the activist groups have been successful in causing a massive drop in Twitter advertising revenue, and we've done our absolute best to appease them, and nothing is working. So this is a major concern, and I think this is, frankly, an attack on the First Amendment. Like, if activist groups can pressure advertisers upon which Twitter is fundamentally dependent to, suppress free speech, then that doesn't seem right.
I meant, by the way, 400 million instead of 4 billion. I meant actually 400 million instead of 4 billion. Okay. Okay, so we're now there. You're living at this place. You go there for the next couple, 3 weeks. You're going to devote, and then we have a team lined up. You think you have a team lined up to manage it, and then you would just do it the same way we do with SpaceX and Tesla, where you just attend the meetings regularly, say this is what we need to do. Do it.
Well,
this is what we need.
Yeah, my workload went up from about, 70 to 80 hours a week to probably 120. So, yeah, I go to sleep, I wake up, I work, go to sleep, wake up, work, do that 7 days a week. I'll have to do that for a while. No choice. But I think once Twitter is set on the right path, I think it is a much easier thing to manage than SpaceX or Tesla. So, and I really understand the internet and how to make. So I wrote software. I wrote software personally for 20 years. I was one of the key people behind X.com, which became PayPal. And so I also, I'm aware of, I know how to make a way better PayPal.
Because you built PayPal.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. With a lot of other people, but there's a product plan I wrote, which I wish I'd kept a copy of, in July of 2000, where I thought it would be possible to make the most valuable financial institution in the world. And we're going to execute that plan from 22 years ago, which amazingly no one has done. And so I think that's part of why I think Twitter will be ultimately extremely valuable, because I'm going to execute the X.com game plan from 22 years ago with some improvements. And then we're also going to obviously make Twitter just a way better system. I mean, it stands to reason that you know, if a social media company is not taking steps to make it positive to be on that social platform, then people won't come or they'll leave, you know? So you speak of sort of anti-Semitism or racism or anything like that. Well, I mean, who's going to stay on a platform if that's prevalent? Like, that's
Obviously.
yeah, I mean, come on. And apart from its inherent wrongness, who's going to stay on the platform? So, like, you want to be. It needs to be something where, like, our goal with Twitter is like, how do we get 80% of America? Maybe not like the sort of far left and the far right, but and maybe we don't want them necessarily, but how do we get 80% of the public to join a digital town square and voice their opinion and exchange ideas and maybe once in a while change their minds?
On occasion.
Yeah, I mean, you know, once in a while.